Hey everyone, Matron here, bringing you another Starcraft 2 commentary. This time a game between Sikatrix, spawning as the red Terran, and Catz, spawning as the blue Zerg. So a lot of you have probably heard of Catz. He does run a stream in the evenings. You can check that out. He's got links for it on the Root website as well as the Team Liquid website, and encourage anybody who hasn't seen it yet to at least experience it for one night, as he typically has a lot of other Root Gaming members on TeamSpeak, and they chat, and he plays ladder pretty much non-stop. And then Sikatrix is pretty much your average top of the diamond ladder Terran player, around 2,600 points in the diamond, career record of 412 and 305. So we'll see what he has in store for Catz. Catz doing his pretty standard 4-drone attack. He does like to rush Terran players on short maps, typically only on Steps of War, but it looks like he's going to try it on Xel'naga caverns here. So what he hopes to do with these 4 drones is delay the barracks from being made by the Terran player. That's going to delay the orbital command being finished as well, and deny a little bit of income for Sikatrix here. It looks like Sikatrix going for gas before barracks, so Catz just going to work on the supply depot. Typically the Terran is going to wall off with the barracks, so getting the supply depot about 1/3 of the way down, and then going to try to focus down SCVs. Sikatrix pulling 5 SCVs off right now. As one gets low, he's going to send it back to the mineral lines. Catz going to work on the supply depot here, getting it down to about half. Another 6 SCVs coming off for Sikatrix, and Catz doing his best to micro with these drones, but he is going to lose one. Now going through the mineral line, hoping that Sikatrix pulls units off here. So we see the income plummeting for the Terran right now, down to 150, 160. And this harassment does its job here for Catz. He did take the supply depot down about halfway, did not kill any SCVs. Actually, it looks like he was able to kill one, perhaps back at his base. And he did lose 1 drone as well. We see the delayed barracks here for Sikatrix, so Catz pulling back with those drones, perhaps expecting some sort of proxy bunker, sending his drones all around, or proxy barracks play. So it does hold these watchtowers, needs to bring these drones back, and it looks like he's done scouting for the proxy barracks, pulling these drones back, checking out the income. Catz did lose some initial income while his drones were traversing the field in the early going there, but I think he made up for it with Sikatrix having to pull off all those SCVs, plus with the SCVs having to build as Terran, you don't get too far behind in the income. So we see a factory being prepared for Sikatrix at this point. He is getting a reactor on this barracks, so he may be going for a lot of Marines, or perhaps swapping it over onto this factory for some Hellion harass. We see the pool has gone down for Catz. He does not yet have a spawning pool, so he does get behind a little bit in his play with that drone harass, probably spending a little too many actions and thoughts on the micro that he does with those drones, getting a little bit high on the minerals. Looks like he is going to throw down this expansion finally, and this is quite late for an early expansion, around the 23 food mark. We do see the first Hellion on its way out for that factory. Now going to be dropping down on that reactor, perhaps creating another 2 Hellions here. Do have a few Zerglings on the field for Catz, 2 right now, and he's also producing a few more. If we check out the income tab, the Terran player is much farther ahead. He has 1 harvester ahead, plus the mules, going to give him quite the advantage. And Catz is going to be hard-pressed to defend against this Hellion and the 2nd and 3rd when they join up with the front one here. He does have a number of Zerglings, but he does not have a creep spread, and they do not have speed quite yet, about halfway done speed. So going to be difficult catching the Hellion out in the open field here. We'll see whether he does a transfer over to his natural right away, or whether he waits for these Hellions to be cleaned up a little bit. Do see 1 queen and a 2nd queen on the way, as well as a 3rd on the way. So now these Zerglings out in the open field, the 3 Hellions are going to be able to 3-shot these Zerglings. So trying to clean up as many Zerglings as possible. And Zerglings getting caught between fire of all 3 of these Hellions. Sikatrix adding a 4th Hellion at this point, also creating a Banshee off this Tech Lab starport. So you're going to be specializing in the harass in the early going here. Again, we don't see much of a transfer over to this natural yet, as these Hellions are still a very big threat. Do see the Roach Horn being thrown down for Root Catz, and he does this 1 queen against 5 Hellions at this point. Speed has completed for the Zerglings, but it looks like this queen might be focused down. He's got to come in here with the Zerglings, relieve a little bit of this pressure, but these Zerglings, even with the speed now against 5 Hellions, going to be very tough to stop. Now 7 Hellions on the field, easily able to roast up these Zerglings, and the Banshee comes in as well. This queen going to retreat, give up that hatchery. Hatchery not taking too much damage from the Hellions, only 8 damage. And the Banshee going to try to pound away. We see another queen pop out, so that's at least 3 queens on the field right now. This 1 queen very low, going to be fried to a crisp there by all those Hellions. No pre-igniter coming out for Sikatrix at this point. Looks like he is just creating a few supply depots, getting supply locked, trying to focus down this queen. A great transfuse from Catz. So a lot of queens here on the field, going to be able to do damage to that Banshee, taking it down. And a few low HP Hellions retreating back, 1 HP on the 1 Hellion there, perhaps for some repair. And Catz may have fended off this harassment for the time being. Good transfuse, not losing the second queen there. He did lose the 1, getting caught out in the open. We see well-positioned Overlords here, going to show another Banshee coming into the mineral line, and another queen pops for Catz. At this point, he's got 4 queens, so this Banshee going to do its best to try to focus down and harass the economy of Catz, taking down 2 drones right now. These queens just going to be patrolling, hoping to focus down that Banshee about half-life with 2 kills. See the lair tech coming, another kill for that Banshee. And he does need to get these queens in here and perhaps keep one at the edge here just to ward away that Banshee. See Zerglings coming in. They're going to be checking for the expansion. It is not yet down for Sikatrix, but he is preparing it in his command center. He did repair all those Hellions. Now has 9 Hellions on the field. Could possibly be going for some Infernal Pre-Igniter research at this point with 9 Hellions. Going to be very powerful against the Zerglings there. Now 11 Hellions, 2 Banshees. This 1 Banshee still in the corner with their 4 kills, hoping that the queens will forget about it. We have 5 queens on the field for Root Catz, getting up a few spine crawlers, feeling the pressure at this point. If we look at the income tab, it's 34 harvesters for Terran versus the 30 of Catz, so Catz has not been able to get his economy up and running. He did lose a number of drones to harassment there. See a scouting Zergling coming in. He's going to see that the bunker is going down, and he should be expecting that orbital command is going to be going down at the natural for Terran. Sikatrix now moving out across the field. Could be doing a lot of probe or drone damage with these Hellions. Looks like he's moving out with Marines as well. Going to be very tough. All that Catz has at this point is 6 Speedlings and 6 Queens. He does have a number of Spine Crawlers. This one not going to get burrowed in time. If Sikatrix moves out, he's going to try to focus that one down before it gets burrowed. 2 are burrowed right now, and these Queens going to be at the front line doing their best to transfuse here. Needs to get a few transfusions on these Spine Crawlers. Going to be the major damage dealers against these units. Now some Roaches coming out as well, trying to focus down these Marines. Most of the Marines now going down. The Hellions doing their best against the Queens and Roaches, but again, they are not light units, so not taking that bonus damage. And now Catz going to be able to clean that up. So good defense there with mostly Spine Crawlers and the Queens. See a Viking on the field as well, trying to do a lot of harassment here to wandering Overlords. These Queens getting a little bit far from home. They need to spread some creep across this map if he wants to be effective with the Roaches and Queens. We see 6 Queens on the field at this point for Catz. So very impressive defense with mostly Spine Crawlers and Queens. Had a late rallying Roach army as well, and some good transfuses. So we see Catz investing in a few scouting Zerglings. He's got them spread all over the map, so he's going to know exactly when his opponent expands, and something very smart to do as a Zerg player. Just 25 minerals for each of those Zerglings, and so worth it. He's going to have good vision on the side here in case any sort of Banshees or drops try to sneak along the right hand side. If we check out the Army tab, 1700 for Terran compared to the 1425 for Root Catz. So pretty even at this point. If we look at the income though, we do see that Sikatrix does have the advantage, 43 harvesters to 37, and he's got all these mules working as well, working on another command center. We'll see whether he chooses to take the gold or the third here. He's going to have to knock down destructible rocks either way. Now we see a Viking along the side of the map, could be going into the main to try to take down a few overlords. Checking out the APM for both players, around 135 as we approach this mid game. Now Catz going to be taking down the destructible rocks here and setting up a gold. So recovering nicely from the early Hellion harass and Banshee harass. Used a lot of queens there, and he still has those on the field. Can be spreading creep or using transfuses. Looks like we will have an overlord here trying to be sniped down by the Viking. And these queens, when they turn around, can try to take down this Viking. Again, moving very slow off the creep. Viking needs to watch out as it might go down here. And just got a few kills there, but a low overlord and overseer in case a second one comes in. Hellions poking at the front. They will see that this expansion is going up for Catz. Again, the Hellions not doing much damage against these roaches. They do have that armor and 145 HP. This command center complete for Sikatrix, so he needs to decide where to lay that down. Could be morphing it into an orbital command, at least get the mules from it before he sets it down. Looks like Catz working on the destructible rocks on the left side here, perhaps going to be setting up a fourth. He does have double evolution chambers down, working on the level 1 upgrades for attack and defense for the ground.